For sure. Now, you were called, 50 Cent called you delusional today based on that response. Like, how do you respond to something like that?
I don't even give a fuck about what 50 said because I had nothing to say about him. You heard? Mace need to go on a diet. He need to get his life together. He need to go to the doctor and get a physical. He look terrible, bad body, back. Nigga look big around the neck, waist look crazy. I'm body shaming this. You heard? He need to go get his shit together, get on the treadmill, do some push-ups, do something.
This time around, Jones and 50 Cent are still at each other's throats. And the drama began when Jim showed up at the Breakfast Club and tossed some smooth talk 50's way. When the subject of a Vero war came up, he didn't hold back and labeled him a sucker.
You do nothing with that sucker. You heard? Leave him out of the conversation.
You did that on purpose.
No, I didn't.
He did. Don't
No,
start.
because he said around. He said New York, and that's the only one that has a cap.
You already know that 50 won't take any more time than necessary to retort Jim's catalog and bring up previous drama as if it had never ended. But he's not stopping there. In fact, 50 even put Jim under the bus for Javant Tank. The internet is in ruins after Davis' nasty altercation, with fans taking sides. Is Jim agitating the situation to promote his new record, or is there actual street tension? Let's talk about it.
You getting money right? Yo, do sports, 10 million right now. Today, nigga, I'll catch a flight wherever you at. In the morning, I'll catch a flight wherever you at. You with Mayweather and them 10 million. I'll meet you in any boxing ring. Yeah. Now go make some jokes about that on your next show. I'll box your head off. You know that. Don't play with me.
For a minute now, 50 has been making headlines, had the entire internet on edge when he was coming for Big Meech. And now, he has Jim Jones in his sights. However, to keep it a secret, Jim was fired first while chopping it up on the Breakfast Club the other day when DJ Envy brought up the subject of possible opponents for Vu. When 50's name was mentioned, Jim wasn't holding back and wasn't hiding it either. He called 50 a sucker, and you already know that 50 isn't the kind to overlook that. Jim's grandiosity belies the fact that, in his words, the man has a single song that he claims is insane. Jew received just one song, Ballon, composed by Max B50. Furthered it by posting a picture of himself in a dapper outfit, drinking his Branson knack like a pro, with the comment, pure 50 energy. In all honesty, his response was expected, and no one was shocked. But Jim, he isn't really rolling with that narrative. He claims again that he has more solo hits than the majority of New York rappers, but he still feels as though the city hasn't given him his due. Remember, I have more solo records than most of them. I think it will be difficult for many people to succeed with Capo in New York City. I received many gold singles, and I received some feedback from 50 people. Jim had a brief conversation with Double XL, and he was straightforward. Yes, 50's remarks hurt him, but he isn't going to vent. Instead, he is keeping things focused and moving. In addition, Jim has been out a lot lately because he is promoting his most recent album on the steps of the church, which is why you have been seeing him more than normal.
For sure. Now, you were called, 50 Cent called you delusional today based on that response. Like, how do you respond to something like that?
I don't even give a fuck about what 50 said because I had nothing to say about him. You heard?
However, here's the thing. We Fly High Ballin is the only Jim Jones song that most people remember. So even though Jim may not like it, the fans did ride with 50 on this one. In the meantime, I'm having trouble coming up with two songs that would make me think of him more from love and hip-hop than anything else. Indeed, he isn't quitting. Fast forward to March 1st, when Javant Tank Davis faced WBA super featherweight champion Lamont Roach Jr., most fans thought Tank would handle things easily. But instead, the bout ended in a messy, contentious draw. And let's just say that people aren't holding back. They're calling it one of Tank's worst performances to date.
How disappointing Javante
Davis has been as far as the resume is concerned. This is about as manufactured a star.
For those of you who are familiar with Jim Jones and Jules Santana 50's fight theme, Walk to the Ring, he is also blaming Tank's week's performance on Jim. Never want to miss a moment, shared a video of Cameron and Ann chopping it up, saying that Jules and Jim had the vibe from the beginning. Naturally, he hit in with his trademark caption, "You got to stay in good company, man." One of the ninjas had his teeth fall out, and the other had a full gray beard. Cameron was attempting to show the other ninjas a Trome heart scarf, but he was essentially saying the same thing.
People you with could possibly your energy up for some shit that you supposed to do. You can't come out with that energy, man. It's bad energy, man. It is bad energy, man. Nobody's happy over there. Everybody's sad. Everybody act like they happy.
The fact that 50 is supporting Cameron must have hurt Jim even more because, let's face it, the fact that 50 and Cam are cool now is a major factor in the ongoing beef. Earlier this year, 50 and Cam got together and discussed how Jim rocked with 50 back in 2007. At the time, Cam wasn't feeling that at all because his Dipset brother was hooking up with his op. Funny.
What was your thought process behind saying, yo, you know what? How did this work?
Let me say this, look.
How'd it go?
I was there, I'm in your horse and carriage video. I'm in the pool.
What? You know what? You told me this.
Your horse and carriage video.
You told me this before.
I was in the pool in the horse and carriage.
Wow, that's crazy.
So if you look, like on everybody's there,
right.
Jimmy was not a rapper then.
Right.
He was your man, like on the side, like in the side, just he was not a rapper at all.
Right.
So when balling took place, and I'm looking and I'm going, oh, he having a moment. That's the Lloyd Banks. It's Lloyd Banks thing.
In the same way that Cam's remarks became viral after work after 50, Jim had to respond to it. He appeared on Justin LeBoy's Respectfully podcast and told them both to stop toying with his name and find something more constructive to do.
The point where all the famous people know me, then after that it was like, shit, I'm just as famous as all the famous people. I can't do what I used to do for you. You heard? Somebody got to do that for me right now. I'm super lit. You heard? But I put my life on the line for all of the shit, and you know, and everybody knew that.
Naturally, he retaliated against 50 by bringing up a complete court transcript, including receipts and a wiretapped conversation in which Jim was discussing putting hands on Tekashi 689 for abandoning the 9 Tree Gangsta Bloods with Jamal Mel Murder Jones. To top it all off, 50 hit him with a caption that simply read, LOL, individual 1 calling the shots out here. I know you are working, so please don't say gangster to me. Because once upon a time, 50 was genuinely attempting to get Jim Jones to join his label. Each one of the fans is shocked by how wild things became between these two. But Lord, those were the days.
Your favorite show right now because I'm on it. And I told y'all earlier I was going to bring somebody new in the G Unit. I might have a new signing, I might not. You see, I got the whole G Unit here. We're going to get it going. You got that shit.
Cam also had jokes for Jim's response. He posted a video of himself in a maze, soundtracked by Paul Emmons' Push It to the Limit from the '83 Scarface movie. With the caption, "It's okay to forget about the past. We're here now." He continued to shoot at Jim on his podcast, acting as though he wasn't feeling him. He brought up his Harlem heritage, and he had to quickly check him to remind him that when he first entered the game, he didn't even know how to rap.
You was a fan. You begged us. You are a fan. A fan. You didn't go wrong with you. I am from 140th and Lenox. I am from NFL. Up the block was 40 Wolves. Lou Simpson's on 142nd Cross Square. D Ferg on number 8th Avenue. I don't see you around none of this. Shout out to my nigga, what's the nigga Final 4 Billy and them? You're not from none of that. So you gonna sit around and act like you've been around all this Harlem shit and everything. You ever see somebody?
When Jim arrived at the Breakfast Club, he also spoke to Cam and vented his frustrations about the locks and dips for Zeus in August 2021. Jim claims he and Joel Santana weren't even included in the money talks, which implied that Cam left with the bigger bag. However, Jim wasn't finished yet. He even mentioned ending their long-standing feud in the ring, and Cam wasn't going to tolerate it. He took to Instagram to put an end to all of that writing. Even though Ninja says I'm not concerned about half of it, you know I keep. The files you wanted to do verses for free, Ninja, so if you made $1, be happy talking about it, because it was on your bucket list. And yes, it's obvious that Cam wasn't teasing, because he brought the receipts. He also shared a screenshot of a text message from Jim that said, "This opportunity is bigger than life to me. It's not about money for me with this. Yes, the money makes it even better, but this is my ultimate bucket list and dream since we started this." That's the issue. And I don't mean to be disrespectful, but that platform has the potential to change many businesses and bring many businesses to us as solo artists and as a group. If I have to lose something to gain something, I'm willing to do it for anyone who hasn't tapped in. Jim and Cam were both members of the renowned hip-hop group The Diplomats, but they have been disparaging each other for years, and no one anticipates these two will be breaking breed soon. But many fans believe Jim is merely kicking up dust with 50 to draw more attention to his upcoming record. It's clear that Jim Jones was being provocative to draw attention to his new album, but do you guys believe he's simply doing this to promote it, and that 50i is going to retaliate with more shots? Please leave your comments below, and don't forget to watch this following video.